Are you thinking about moving to Columbus and want to know the true cost of living from someone who was born and raised here? Then stay tuned. Hey, my name is Marc Steyn. I'm a realtor with RE/MAX Premier Choice and a Columbus, Ohio native. And if this is the first video that you're watching on my channel, then hello and welcome. I created this channel with the hopes of giving the viewer a small snapshot of what life is like in Columbus. Every year I help many families relocate to the Columbus area. If you're considering moving to Central Ohio and have any questions about our great city, call me, text me, email me, however you feel most comfortable reaching out. I'm happy to help any way that I can. Please enjoy the video and make sure you watch until the end for the last topic, because it's going to be by far your greatest expense living here and may shock you. If you're watching this video, there's a good chance you have already done a lot of online research or used a couple of online estimator calculators trying to figure out the difference between Columbus and the city you're coming from. There are some great resources out there that can definitely help. What I'm going to discuss in this video is what makes up some of that data and expand a little bit on what the national websites report. The biggest discrepancy and maybe the most misleading is the cost of housing, which most of the time will be your largest expense and something you'll have to look at on a more granular level. Let's start by talking off about healthcare. The healthcare cost in Columbus is about 10% below the national average based on my research. More importantly, we have three wonderful healthcare systems in Central Ohio: the Ohio State University system, the Mount Carmel healthcare system, and Ohio Health. All three do a wonderful job. Ohio State features the renowned James Cancer Research Hospital and is currently spending over $1 billion building a state-of-the-art new facility. Ohio Health, which has several hospitals, numerous surgery centers, and outpatient care centers, also has the McConnell Heart Hospital located at Riverside. We are also lucky enough to have one of the top children's hospitals in the region, Nation Children's Hospital. Top-notch healthcare is so important, and many people don't realize what they have until it's gone. I just spoke with a past client a few months ago who retired and moved south for the warmer weather. They said they regret the area they moved to because the lack of good healthcare and major hospitals. It's something people often overlook when they're thinking about moving. The cost of utilities is going to be very comparable to other parts of the country, within 1% to 2%. We experience all four seasons in Columbus. Well, usually that is. Sometimes it seems we go straight from summer to winter, then back to summer again, missing my favorite seasons, spring and fall. Most of the heating in Central Ohio is natural gas and the cooling is electric. It's not uncommon in the winter months to spend several $100s a month on gas and the same amount of money on electric during the summer. Water and sewer bills are very reasonable throughout Central Ohio as well. The next topic, the cost of food, is also right around the national average. We have all the major grocery retailers represented in town, including Kroger, Giant Eagle, which are the major supermarket chains, as well as the more specialty retailers like Whole Foods, Time, and Aldi, along with many smaller ethnic retailers and mom and pop operations. Being surrounded by farmland, we also are fortunate enough to have lots of farmers markets in the winter months. With regards to transportation, the nation's sites have us between 5 and 10% below the national average. Most important thing to know about living in Columbus with regards to transportation is most people find it necessary to have some sort of motorized vehicle. There are a few walkable areas and neighborhoods in Columbus, but we also have quite a bit of sprawl. Columbus transportation bus system is called COTA. It does a pretty good job in the urban areas, but when you want to live out in the suburbs, public transportation will be more of a challenge. Lastly is housing, which is reportedly 30% below the national average according to some sites. That might be statistically true, but it's worth discussing a little bit further. If you're thinking about relocating to Columbus, the first two questions you should ask yourself is, am I planning on renting? Or am I planning on purchasing? Then, what area or type of housing am I looking for? Because there is a huge discrepancy in both type and location, especially between the urban areas and the suburbs. If you're considering renting, what amenities are you looking for and where do you want to live? Do you want to live in the hot part of town, in a building with all the bells and whistles like theaters and swimming pools and workout rooms, etc.? Then that can get pretty pricey. If you're looking for something newer and around a lot of nightlife like the Short North or the Arena District, then expect to pay anywhere between $1,000 and $1,600 a month for a one-bedroom apartment. We usually classify these types of apartment buildings as A buildings based on their age and the location. B-type buildings would be ones that are a little bit older and don't have all the bells and whistles of an A building, and may not be located in the hot neighborhoods. They will also be less expensive. Real estate's all about location, right? The same is true if you're thinking about purchasing. When you get out into the suburbs of Columbus, the price can get very expensive very quickly. For instance, if you're thinking about living in Powell, which is a suburb just north of Columbus, the housing is actually 60% higher than the national average. Upper Arlington, which is a central suburb right next to Ohio State University, is 85% higher, and New Albany, which is on the northeast side, the housing there is a whopping 130% higher than the national average. These are just 3 examples of how the housing costs can differ in Central Ohio. As you can see, it's just not looking at the data and averages. You really have to understand the city and the real costs associated with living in certain neighborhoods or suburbs. Well, I hope this video has been helpful. If you're considering moving to Columbus and have any questions about neighborhoods, schools, suburbs, reach out. I'm happy to help any way that I can.